during the audit, we were told that Employment and Social Development Canada and the Canada Revenue Agency had identified cases and referred some of them to law enforcement for investigation. As of September 2022, the agency and the department had identified employees that claimed COVID-19 benefits. Is that to say that CRA and ESDC employees were referred to law enforcement for criminal investigation?
There were employees in Canada Revenue Agency and Employment and Social Development Canada that were identified having received payments, and there was an internal investigation that kicks off first. It's then up to the department and the agency whether they refer that case to law enforcement. But we felt that that investigation was the right first step.
I guess I will ask the witnesses from the CRA and ESDC how many employees were subject to internal investigation and how many cases were referred to law enforcement.
Maybe I'll back up for 1 second, just to say that when we look at the CRA, we treat public servants as general taxpayers, and if you violate the rules, you suffer the compliance efforts. So I don't have numbers right in front of me, not very many, obviously, and I don't believe any of those cases have gone into a criminal investigation. We have very strong internal investigation at the CRA, and we deal with it ourselves, and the discipline can range from not much, if it wasn't something, to termination.
Could you provide this committee with the numbers? I'm afraid that not very many is not a sufficient answer. Would you be able to provide to this committee afterwards the number that were subject to the internal investigation?
Let me take that back, and I'll endeavor to get you those numbers.
Thank you.
The same question to ESDC.
I'd be happy to answer that question. And so as part of some of our internal investigations, it was discovered that some of our employees had availed themselves, as any Canadian, to apply for CERB benefits on their own time. So I want to make it clear they did not use any internal systems in doing so. We did alert that up to our Chief Security Officer, and an administrative investigation did take place. Those individuals that did break the trust of the employer-employee relationship, as we reviewed for cause their security clearances, have been terminated. To date, we have terminated 49 individuals.
49 now former employees of ESDC were terminated for fraud related to COVID benefits. Is that correct?
It would be in regards to misrepresentation of their situation when they would be applying for CERB.
Okay. And how many of those cases were referred to law enforcement?
There was no referral to law enforcement, as this was an internal investigation, and it was a review for cause in regards to breaking the code of conduct associated to the employees of all of our department.
And have the monies that those 49 employees received been clawed back, or are those still part of the ongoing investigations?
Those monies have been established as overpayments that must be repaid, and they are being treated as any other Canadian that received benefits they were not entitled to.
Okay, they must be repaid, but have they already been repaid?
They're in the process of being repaid. I would have to confirm the numbers that have been repaid.
Yes, could you please provide those numbers in writing to the committee?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I know your earlier question was in regards to those external clients that perhaps demonstrated some fraudulent activities. We did discover that there was some fraudulent activities that did need to be referred to external authorities, and 12,000 of those cases were